From Watts to the world, watch the internet, Black Power. All power to all people. Y'all know who I am. It's your player partner, Bobby WAJ. And I got a few contents that I want to get into. But before we get into the content, before we explore the subject matter, I'm going to allow YouTube to do what it is that YouTube does and send out those notifications. And put me in the algorithm. And we're going to get into some content. Rock out to this little beat and all that. You feel me? Let them do what they do. Get a few people up in here. I usually don't wait. I just, boom, just go into the content. Because, you know, my motives isn't driven by self desires and intentions and all this and all that. But we going to get into some content, man. We going to get into some content. I'm going to let it run a little while. And then we going to jump into it. If my audio is off, please let me know if you can hear me or not. All right. What is the DNL? It's your player partner, Bobby WAJ. And as always, your player partner got something to say. I hate to revisit this Tory Lane situation, but like I say, man, the shit done grown a whole nother set of legs, and it has went so many different places. A lot of people is using this situation to fuel their own selfish agendas and motives and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? A lot of people are even using it to incite some type of racial tension in the streets of Los Angeles and throughout. I told you my standpoint, my viewpoint on it. It's a PC yard, it's a SNY yard, right? But for those of you who have did time in the California Department of Corrections on the main line, or maybe even on the PC yard, whatever's your thing, right? We know that there's an abundance of dropouts from the Norte as well as the Sur, as well as Crips and Bloods. It's a lot of people who just can't deal with the politics, so they send deuces. I go to this SNY yard where I can get these tax credits. I can be incentivized for going over there. I can sell up, bunk up whoever I want to. A lot of guys, blacks and non-blacks alike, they're going to these PC yards and they're indulging in their homosexual fetishes, fantasies, and desires. That's their prerogative. A lot of guys just can't deal with the politics, so they send deuces. But we have seen before throughout history that a lot of people drop out of organizations like the Soreños, the Norteños, so on and so forth, and they go to these different yards where they're isolated, and what they begin to do is trauma bomb of sorts. Trauma bomb. They come together and they say, you know what? This is the opposition. This is the enemy. I'm here because of XYZ to the ABC. I don't believe that their politics is actually representing the people that they govern over, right? So they start their separate organizations. La MA, derivative of that was the Norteños. The Norteños were created, from what I was told, because it was favoritism with the Raza from down south and the Raza that was everything from Bakersfield going north. So they said, no, we're going to break off and we're going to start pushing north there. Instead of Soreño and the MA and everything that was down south, they said, we're going to break off. And and I'm not saying that these dudes are dropouts. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want my words to be misconstrued. What I'm talking about is certain individuals detaching themselves from a bigger organization to create an opposing organization. That's what I'm talking about. Not saying the Nortes are dropout. Shout out to the Nortes, right? They just seen that it was favoritism. They seen that they weren't properly, according to them, governing the people. That it was a lot of favoritism coming from the barrios that was from Los Angeles and, you know, Southern California. So make a long story short, right? They branched off and they created Norte, Northern Organization Resisting the MA. And they started doing their own thing. And they grown in numbers, and they start getting on certain yards and they start going up, right? So now these dropouts, and hold on, before I even go to that, Bulldogs, who were under the Norte at one point in time from Fresno Bulldogs, shout out to those Hispanic brothers as well. They feel like it was favoritism and all that with the Norte. So they said, you know what? Fuck that. We are not adhering to your policies, procedures, protocols, and none of that. We're going to branch off and start our own thing, and we're going to represent ourselves under F-14 Fresno Bulldogs. So what I think we're seeing now is more dropouts, and I'm not calling Bulldogs a dropout either. If anything, the Norte and the Bulldogs are rebels who said, you know, this ain't right. It doesn't sit right with me, and I'm going to be proactive in making things right the way that I feel they should be. And he branched off. So what I see now is a lot of individuals from these Hispanic organizations detaching, branching off for various reasons, going to these SNY yards, these PC yards, and what they're doing, they're coming together, trauma bonding. And they're saying, you know what? We don't like the Norte. We don't like Sureños. So we're going to create our own thing. So if these type of politics are being laid down and executed on these SNY yards, these PC yards, then the brothers will be justified in attacking them guys. But that isolated situation with Tory Lanez should not go into a mainline prison. Nobody that's righteous or nobody that's still completing the assignment, you know, got that from Brother Chill Will, 16 to life. Shout out to Cuz. But nobody that's still an active and reputable participant should find themselves embracing a race war over some that happened on a PC yard. No, it doesn't work like that. But if there is political structuring commencing on these PC yards, and you still have Hispanics pushing that Hispanic agenda that they were pushing when they were part of the school and so on and so forth, if they're pushing it like that, then the brothers need to handle that on them SNY yards. This isn't a situation for us to get up in arms and start plotting, planning, strategizing of none of that. This shit shouldn't hit the streets. This shit should not hit a mainline prison. This shit should be isolated to that prison, to Hatchapee, to that yard. If it's other SNY yards to where the Hispanics are in other ethnicities are coming together to form themselves as an organization that also oppose blacks, then get up in their ass. Whoop that ass, tap that ass. But let's stop coming to social media and making this a bigger issue than what it is, because you can get somebody hurt. And when you're doing all this talking and these individuals aren't familiar with your street reputation, but they see you online and see you have 35, 45, maybe 105,000 subscribers, they automatically give you social equity. They automatically think that you can influence the culture. And what you think they gonna do? They gonna gear up and get ready for war. The Sureños, from my time in prison in the California Youth Authority, very seldomly is the individuals who get moved on. Because if they feel like it's up and they moving. So this can create a bigger situation, and individuals that have nothing to do that, righteous individuals that's walking these mainline yards, can potentially get caught in a fire over some shit that happened on a PC SNY yard. That's not cool. I don't support it, and I'm coming to speak out against that. They say the main culprits is Hassan. Well, let me not say culprits. I'm going to say provocateurs. They say the main provocateurs is Whack 100 and Hassan Campbell. Hassan's from New York. He's not fully aware of the political structures or the political structuring in the California Department of Correction. So being that he's not a part of this subculture, his words really has no relevance as it pertains to this Tory Lanez situation. So it has no validity. So we're going to bop, 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 bop. We're going to shoot that down. Whack 100, we know Whack 100 is extremely controversial. Damn near everything that pertains to Whack 100 outside of business, but his business is now controversy. So it's kind of like he get paid off the controversy. So of course he's going to come on here and be a provocateur and get people incited, and it could be a potential race war in California. And people, I told y'all about that drama sell. They don't care if you Woody, snitch. They don't care if you Shamar. They don't care if you Fleece Johnson, homosexuals, Shamar and Fleece. They don't care if you a dropout, Dubs, Gunner. They don't care as long as you can provide that content. Is the content they want. See, the social media shit, you can equate this to the dope game to a degree. People need that fix. What's the drama? What's the messy shit? What's going on now? And motherfuckers there to provide. A smoker don't care if you a homosexual, a snitch, or this, that, a third. As long as you got that good dope, that good product, that good content, they gonna come in and tune in time after time. And we got my play upon the Marvelous Minds in the building, man. Shout out to Marvelous, man, on the rent of this. All the people running their mouths are the ones that never been nowhere or done nothing. I agree. Because if you've been on these yards, you know the severity of what can happen when it go down. So when you know it's that serious, homie, what we try to do is parry and avoid that type of shit if we can, especially over some fucking PCs. You don't want to get that call like I was telling y'all. Hello, hi, may I please speak to so on and so forth? Yes, this is Shirley. Hello, Shirley. This is Captain so on and so forth, a sergeant or warden of Wooty Whoop so on and so in prison, and I'm calling to inform you that don't nobody want to get those calls over no fucking PC SNY yard. Trust me, believe me, there's going to be a time to where all this racial shit is going to come to a head, and when it comes to a head, we gonna see who gonna get out there and get cracking. It's an unfortunate situation, but this is the social structuring of things. Play them against them, and we conquer them all. And we didn't feel for the subterfuge. But I don't want to get too far off a topic and off track. I want to show you a video that semi-substantiates and sustains exactly what it is that I'm saying. Let's get into this video because there is some PCs on these yards that structuring themselves to be a full-fledged organization. And they incorporating certain political views and aspects and practices. See, a lot of dudes, they underestimate these PC yards. These PC yards can be deadly, super deadly. Some of these PC yards can be just as dangerous as these mainline prisons, because in these mainline prisons, there's protocol, there's structuring, there's procedures, there's certain guidelines and boundaries that you just don't cross. And it's been established, and it's been like that for decades now. The Hispanics got it, the blacks got it, the brothers and others got it, the Woods got it, everybody has it. But these PC yards is different. I don't even think they've been in existence over what, 10 years? I don't know. I've never been PC. I have no desire to be PC. It's been a lot of shit that's being said on social media towards blacks, and we're going to get into that. We are going to get into that. But let me show you these videos real quick that supports what I'm saying. You know, a lot of content creators, they just come on here, bro, and they just running motherfucking mouths, cuz. Let me see if this the one. PJ, this the one right here. Now check out this. This doesn't pertain to blacks, but I just want to give you an example of something.
Crazy information. Another 187, another homicide took place in Lancaster State Prison. This is the victim right here. He's from 18th Street, but he's also part of an SNY gang called Independent Riders. That's why they also represent the 1-8. He's actually in jail, and he's incarcerated for force of the RAPE word. Whoa. So he actually violated an S offense, either a woman or a minor with violence through force. He got caught slipping in his cell the other day by this man right here. He's actually a 2-5 gang member, and the 2-5 gang members on the SNY have a strong policy that if anybody shows up with these kind of charges, these S allegation charges and offenses against women and minors, it is their obligation per their gang to blast with weapons. And they ended up blasting him with weapons. Stuck the shank right through him multiple times and killed him in his cell. This 2-5 gang member, he's actually in there for a botched robbery gone bad. He tried to sell 2 ounces of baking soda to a friend, with him and his co-defendant. And once the friend realized that it wasn't coke, that it wasn't none of that booger sugar, he gave it back, said he wanted something better. And they left and then came right back immediately and tried to rob him for his cash, but the gun went off. He got found guilty because he gave his co-defendant the gun, and his co-defendant put it to the head and shot him. So he wasn't the one that pulled the trigger. He was the one that gave his co-defendant the gun to pull the trigger. So he actually didn't even commit the homicide, but he went down for the homicide. And that's what some of these kids need to understand. You're going to be out there waving pistols, switches, and sticks. But if your homie's doing something and catches a body with that gun or does anything that's a criminal activity with that gun and you're present for it, the law can hold you accountable for it as well. Because that's what he was charged with, which was giving the gun to his co-defendant and being present for the murder as it happened. That's how easy it was for that kid to throw his life away and end up doing life without the possibility of parole. Then he goes to an SNY yard because he refuses to politic and join a gang. Joined the gang anyways, and the 2-5ers made him take somebody's win in a cell because they had pedo charges. That's how easy it is for a kid to wreck his life because he was young when he went to prison. And some of these kids out here are really young and don't understand that some of these criminal activities.
I agree with what he said. They always said that bad company corrupts good character. So you can your life off just hanging with the wrong motherfuckers, right? But the reason why I played that video is because the dude went to a SNY yard, joined the SNY gang that was politically structured to unalive anybody that was in a violation of certain rules and regulations. So that right there establishes and shows that on these SNY yards, other races are structuring themselves to be another organization. A dude was telling me that when the Sureños and the Norteños were entertaining and discussing a potential ceasefire or peace treaty of sorts, that it was because these dropouts were getting so deep that it was a threat to their safety and security. They say these. Man, this can't be whack 100. That ain't whack 100, especially not talking to me like that. If that is whack 100, cuz we don't even get down like that, big dog on mic. I mean, we can have a conversation if you want to have a conversation in regards to the topic that you just brought up. You know what I mean? We can get in depth. I don't want to deal with it from a standpoint of being on the surface. I know who you talking about, bro. I don't want to deal with it from a topic or a point of dealing with it from the surface. Let's get to the core of it. If you want to have a conversation, we can most definitely have a conversation about it. You know what I mean? But let's be respectful to one another, so on and so forth. I don't think that's whack 100. So I'm going to keep it moving, keep it going. So here's some more content that I want to share with you as it pertains to this Tory Lanez situation. Let's get into it. SNY games. This shit is crazy. I can't make this shit up.
Prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at the California Correctional Institution for Tehachapi, California. This call.
Hey, but look, check this out, cuz this is a disclaimer. I'm sharing this here content right now from Roughneck TV. This is a disclaimer with this AI shit and this voice editing shit and all these technological advancements. I cannot confirm the validity of this call right here. I cannot confirm the validity. So listen to it with an open mind and not as something that's concrete. So just wanted to put that disclaimer out there.
And your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Alright, you hear me? So look, this is what really happened, right? So basically, we wake up early in the morning, right? The club line down, my door opens, right? And I walk out, and my homie's right there standing there, and he calls me over, and he's like, "Travis, come here," and I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Bro, I'm about to get this nigga." And I was like, "Who?" He's like, "Tory." I was like, "For what?" And he's like, "This what keeps on talking shit." And I already told him, I don't play like that, bro. I'm gonna get you if you don't stop talking shit. So then I was like, all right, don't trip, I'm right here. So then all of a sudden, that fool's door opens, that fool comes out, and then that fool runs up on him, and that fool starts stabbing that fool. But you can just tell that fool got his lungs punctured because when he was laying on the ground, he's right there yelling, help, please, stop, help. And you can just hear him breathing like, you see him popping up blood and some more shit. But it's just crazy, all these little stories going around that aren't even true, talking about there's going to be retaliation and some more shit, because if there was retaliation, it would have happened right there, you know what I'm saying? One of the blacks did try to hop up, and I told him, bro, you better sit down, bro, because if you hop up and get involved, you all know all the messages are going to jump, and it's going to be bad for you, bro. And you don't owe no money. How does a millionaire owe money in prison? That's bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And there was no visits that day, so how the fuck is there going to be some shit visit? I mean, I don't know if that shit really happened, but I know that day, the homie didn't tell me nothing about this boy talking to my bitch, or he got in my bitch at visits, none of that, you know what I'm saying? But that's what really happened. You feel me? I was right there. I'm a porter. I had to clean up his blood right there, mopping up all that fool's blood. I thought that fool died, but I guess not. But it's just crazy, all the little crazy ass stories that are going around that aren't even true. But that's really what happened from someone that was right there, seeing the whole shit, watched it happen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Prepaid call from.
If that's real, if this is real, if that's a real individual and this real account of the situation that had unfortunately befallen Tory Lanez, that's a problem. That's a problem. And that problem needs to be handled swiftly and effectively. I don't give a fuck if you mainline. I don't give a fuck if you PC. When it come to this, we got to keep this like this, homie. I can't tell a motherfucker to take violent actions against nobody. But what I will say, if you allow this to transpire and there's no reprimanding, there's no actions, no ramifications of it, then it's going to be more attacks like this because they feel like they can do it. So while they're in there getting structured, organizing themselves, the next thing they're going to do is create and incorporate a constitution. And when they do that, homie, now they're more deadly because now they have an article, they have a document that binds all of them together. The same way that religions have religious books. I'm not a Christian, but I'm just theoretically speaking. I'm a Christian, but this is my religious book. I'm Muslim, but this is my religious document that I adhere to, the principles, the tenets of our faith. That's what a constitution would do for these dropout organizations that's forming. So we'll be going at it with the Sordanios and now the dropouts of the Sordanios, and a lot of them, they still hold true to the indoctrinations that they was given when they was kids in their familia and from when they were in these organizations. So their perception is still fuck who? It's still fuck you. Brothers, now is the time to wise up, cuz. I don't give a fuck if you PC, SNY, 50-50, mainline, wherever you at, homie. It's time to start properly representing this blackness. Moving along, moving strong, man. I wanted to cover that and just do a little rumor control and give you a few things from my perspective. I want to move on to something else, man, that's been on my mind. So with the recent lawsuits, California budget cuts, Los Angeles budget crisis, and so on and so forth. And I've been saying this. I've been having conversations about this. I say some of the first people that's going to lose their jobs or lose pay or have a reduction, a significant reduction in pay is who? Who y'all think? Until the blacks on the streets unite, nothing will happen. Trust me. I love my people, but LA is effed. LA is not effed. This is what I say. To the Gang Reduction Youth Development Program, it's time to restructure that. These individuals who are co-opted from these destitute communities that you're using as puppets, you need to let them go. If you want positive results, and this isn't a psyop, this isn't a facade, and you all really want to assist us in reducing gang and gun violence, y'all need to let those informants go and come to the table with some real individuals like myself, and I will bring some other real individuals to the table, and I guarantee you, if you give us a budget within 2 years, we would drastically reduce gang violence and gun violence in these destitute communities. If you really want results, then you have to get the individuals that's really effective in these communities. We're not snitching to the police. I'm telling you that now. We don't even want to work in conjunction with the police. We're not going to promote gang violence. We're not going to organize gang hits. We're not going to do anything that's counterproductive to the organizing of our people. And when I say organizing, I'm talking about reducing the gang violence and the gun violence that's going on down there. Y'all got to let them go. They ineffective. 80% of them is confidential informants. 60 to 70% of them got a tainted name in their communities because everybody associate these guys with working with the police and snitching. Not all of them do. I just want to specify that. Not all gang intervention and prevention workers are snitches. I'm telling you that now. But the mass majority don't mind dry snitching or flat out snitching. We need to speak with Mayor Karen Bass. We need to have a conversation with you, sister. Because if y'all want to reduce this shit, y'all got to get the right people in position to get the right results. Because these dudes, 70, 80% of them, they're not qualified. They don't even have a vision on how to reduce this shit. All a lot of these cats know, yeah, cuz I'm whoopty woo whoop, and yeah, blood, I'm whoopty woo whoop. I did whoopty whoop time in the prison. I'd have been shot 10 or 15. That's not enough. You have to have a vision. You have to have insight. You have to have a plan. If you don't have vision, you don't have insight, and you don't have a plan and a reputation and in a relationship with the babies, the youngsters, you're ineffective. We need leadership academies in our community. And the first thing we teach our children that unaliving another person who looks like you, struggling through the same harsh conditions of poverty, oppression, and so on and so forth, it's not cool for you to unalive him. There's a network here now that we're going to establish to where we have a line of communication with the homies from the west side, homies from the east side, Long Beach, and everything else, cuz. So when there's a discrepancy, we get on these lines and we have appropriate phone conversations that's appropriate for the phone. And we resolve this shit. In 1992, the individuals from Watts, who are considered the architects of the Blood and Crip peace treaty, ceasefire, whatever you want to call it, these dudes ain't had no money. All they had is guidance, love, understanding, and community backing. They didn't have shit. So now you mean to tell me that intervention and prevention is a multi-million-dollar funded programs, and we haven't accomplished too much of nothing? We still got this situation with the neighborhoods and the gangsters. And now certain gangsters is saying F other gangsters because these gangsters fuck with the neighborhoods. That's crazy. Now you got blood sets beefing with other blood sets. When I was a kid, that shit ain't happen like that. You had a few blood sets that are beef. They did have scrimmages and skirmishes amongst themselves, but it was rectified. That shit was corrected ASAP. But now more blood sets are more inclined to beef with other blood sets. But we got all this intervention and prevention motherfucking money. We got more youth. Excuse me. Let me see what it says. Excuse me. Maybe an important call about some big money if he up. I told y'all, all praise be to the Most High God. That's some paper. That's some paper. Somebody watching this live and reached out and said, man, listen, I can get you in front of Karen Bass and Holly Mitchell. Well, we need to be in front of Karen Bass and Holly Mitchell to talk about another stage of intervention and prevention. One that's not co-opted, one that's not diluted, one that can be effective in reducing the gang violence. Like I was saying before I was not so rudely interrupted. You got more kids going to join gangs. More of them. Dudes that when we were kids and when some of y'all was kids, we wouldn't even let cuz be from the set, forgive me. No. You got little dudes from these gangs now that's riding skateboards. That's doing all type of things that wasn't typical when we were growing up. That little dude ain't meant to be from the set. Because we come from the set, he's looking for an identity and acceptance. Now there's a situation. Now he's in the car, heart beating out his chest, going to go unalive somebody. And that's not what cuz is about. Cuz was supposed to be in school. Take your ass to school, nigga. What you want to be when you get older? I want to be a lawyer. Are you good at arguing? Are you good at looking at things from a rational standpoint? Can you regurgitate what you look at from a rational standpoint, this, that, and third, and least of all, are you a good liar? Because you know, as an attorney, you got to do a little line, right? Yeah, I can do that, big homie. All right, for sugar that. I want to see you in school. I want to see you put yourself in a position of getting through school and being an attorney, homie, and I'm going to hire you to be my attorney. We got to find ways to motivate these babies towards their greatness, because we ain't been doing that. We let little niggas join the set, cuz, and they ain't got what it takes to be from the set. Then when they get into these situations and they have these events to where they in cuffs and they talking about, hey, well, listen, the crime that you committed carry 50 years. But you are associated with Wooty Woo Crips or Wooty Woo Bloods, so we're going to double that up to 100 years. You've been in prison before, so we're going to give you a prison enhancement. And then we're going to give you this enhancement. So you're looking at 180 years to life. 180. This nigga in love with his old lady. His old lady may be pregnant now. And he's thinking about the future that he should have been thinking about when he was on the streets. But in most of these cases, it's too late. So what you think that little dude going to do? When he know his old lady she like the year. He going, it wasn't me. It was Wooty Woo Woo. He did this, he did. We see it all the time on the First 48. We hear about it all the time on these YouTube streets. But guess what? The system still look at you as a nigga. So instead of getting 180 years, they gonna break you off for 35 years. 35 years, my nigga. We got to change the dynamics of this shit we call the G code, the streets and all this and all that. Check this out. People gave Crips and Bloods to a degree, a hard time for criticizing kids, R&B singers, dancers for Crip walking. Quit Crip walking if you ain't a gangbanger. This is for little kids and R&B singers. Quit Crip walking if you ain't a gangbanger. Oh, anybody should be able to do a dancing. This, that, and third. Anybody should. But we know what comes with the lifestyle. Don't perpetrate the lifestyle. Especially when we got individuals that then been unalive for this and they made crazy sacrifices. This is a lifestyle that's counterproductive to success. So don't do this. If you're going to be with this, be with this. If you're not, then stay over there doing what you're doing. Now watch this. Nobody criticized the Alpha Faka Saka Laka, whatever it's called. And I'm not trying to disrespect them. Alpha Psi Phi or Phi Psi Alpha. The dudes will wear purple and they be dancing it. And all that shit, right? They criticize some little kids for emulating, replicating, and imitating their dances. Oh, you're not part of the brotherhood or whatever they were saying. Stop doing that. Let them do that. Because it's better they do y'all dance than do our dance, because our dance is rooted in tribalism that unalives us. Y'all dance is rooted in individuals having camaraderie and pulling brothers up into successful environments and situations. So why not let them emulate something that's positive versus something that's negative? And motherfuckers is on the internet backing these motherfuckers up. Oh yeah, they shouldn't be doing that if they're not part of the... Man, fuck all that. Because if you feel like you hot shit and you about the people or whatever the fuck the certain cats feel like they're about, bring your ass back to the motherfucking hood and start a mentor program. Start a leadership program to teach these kids the way of effectively getting the fuck out the ghetto so they won't be crip walking like me and a lot of other motherfuckers that I fucked with. They won't be committing the crimes that we committed because they see now that it's an outlet. A lot of the kids do the shit they do because they don't feel like it's a fucking outlet. They don't feel like nobody loved them, understanding, or got them. So now you got these young kids that's called YNs in the streets raising them motherfucking selves because they feel isolated and neglected. What the fuck is wrong with you niggas, cuz? See, certain of us get a certain level. We obtain a certain level of success, and we stop acting like us. We start acting like them versus acting like us. What the fuck is wrong with you niggas, cuz? If these little kids want to stump and all that type of shit, but they got movies about it. If you don't want nobody doing your dance, then don't give the rights to these film production companies to make movies about what y'all do. I'd rather than replicate that dance than emulate this dance. Because after we stop crip walking, niggas, somebody subject, yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about, cuz. Why all these black fraternities aren't coming back, connecting with the people in the community, starting leadership programs for the kids. The United States military do it through these cadet programs. They get you conditioned, prepared, and ready to go over there and be unalive for a country that don't give two fucks about you. That's crazy. But here are some brothers that's talking about the upliftment of the people. And y'all want to castigate, reprimand some kids for doing y'all dance? That's crazy. When y'all should be in a community with these churches creating outlets. If you're not proactive, then I don't want to hear your motherfucking voice. Shut the fuck up. Don't talk about these kids. Because you know why? You got more individuals like me that see the light, that got a vision of saying, listen, cuz, we got to effectively create some cuz to properly guide these babies because we was misguided. In the words of my big homie Sniper, man, I was following niggas that I was fit to be leading. We start replicating something, homie, that was created by teenagers. When you break down the dynamics of other gangs, like let's start with the origin of gangs in America, the Dead Rabbits, the Five Corner Dudes, all that shit over there in New York. When they would create gangs, it was tied to social economic issues in their communities. The Irish was being subjugated by the American born Caucasians. These dudes was falling out with these dudes because they wanted contracts for the fire department, sanitation. So they start saying, oh, fuck that. We're gonna create this for our community. And if you Jewish or if you Irish or if you this, that, and third, we don't want you coming to our community exploiting our resources. Man, that's some profound shit because it's about the amelioration of the community and the people. We don't even think like that. Why the fuck we ain't on that same code, but we call ourselves gangs and gangbangers? Why we let everybody come into our community and start businesses and we are just the consumers and all we do is consume. If you consume and you don't produce shit, you're a fucking parasite. That's parasitic behavior, cuz. This shit real and it's about to get realer. It may be this summer, it may be next summer. Intervention and prevention, they just may be cooked. They just may be done. They know it. You got this shit with Big U. You got the dude, I don't even want to say his name, telling the kids to say fuck 600. And you got all these dudes who are supposed to be intervention and prevention workers, homie, that's doing negative shit online. It's not a proper portrayal of what an intervention and prevention worker is supposed to be. So they're cooked. They're finding ways to create additional obstacles. We done gave these N-words 15 years to get it right. We gave them millions upon millions of dollars. We have even put peoples in these destitute communities in positions to get them houses in Riverside, Moreno Valley, Bernardino, Palmdale, Lancaster, Hesperia, Apple Valley, Adelanto, Victorville. We're making homeowners, but they just don't get it. And I always told you these Caucasians will give you enough rope to do what? Hang yourself. Here, you need some more rope. Yes, boss, I need a little bit more, but they're giving you enough rope to hang yourself. So when individuals like me and the individuals that I am in connection and partnership with, when we say, hey, we know the solution to this problem and we can be effective, we can end this, we can drastically reduce it starting at the 9-month mark. We have a solution, we have a plan, we have a vision, and it works. You want me to tell you how I know it works? Because when motherfuckers do this, yeah, what's the deal? Man, what's the deal? What's popping, my player partner? Hey, man, your little homies just woody woo woo and all this and woody woo woo. All right, look, hold on. Put that on pause. I respectfully ask that you give me 2 days to holler at my people and we can try to resolve this. And vice versa. And now mother's babies can go home. But had a dude been like these other dudes, oh man, yeah, them youngsters, man, I don't know, man. They just, man, some people's got to get an example before. That's what a lot of these intervention and prevention dudes do. And it'll be your child that be the next person with a prison number. It'll be your child with another number, but a toe tag. This shit ain't to be played with. It's real, cuz. By this summer or next summer, you're about to see a drastic increase in gang-related homicides, gun violence, and all manner of violence that pertains to gang banging. You want me to tell you why? I'll show you why. Fuck me telling you. I will show you. These intervention and prevention agencies and organizations know that with these drastic budget cuts with Los Angeles County allowing children in foster care and juvenile halls to be sexually violated repeatedly. Now they got to pay $4 billion. Now they acting like they don't know where they're gonna get the $4 billion from. So they telling these law firms, listen, we're gonna give you the $4 billion, but we're not going to give it to you up front. What we have to do is stretch it out. So we'll be paying you, but we'll be paying you till probably about 2056. What about this dude? Trauma. What about this dude? Healing. What about this dude? Inability to live a normal life. So now you're creating additional conditions that can lead to this dude tapping out, saying, fuck it, I'm done. Getting people's their motherfucking money, cuz. Y'all allowed them editors, put a P in front of it. Y'all allowed them editors to have a field day since the 1950s, 1960s, doing inappropriate things to these kids. Now you're telling these victims, you gotta wait. We sending billions to Ukraine. We're sending trillions to different countries. And the fact that you're not giving blacks reparation, why not just pay them people's their money? You got the motherfucking money. But I digress. Let's see what those intervention and prevention, let's see what those intervention and prevention workers is doing. Things fight the hardest when they feel like they're about to DIE, when they feel like they're on their way out. So let's see what they on. One day y'all gonna hear me, man. Y'all too near me not to hear me, baby. I don't come on here and create false tales and fabricate, confabulate, and all that. That ain't my get down, baby. Hey, shout out to Miss Carolyn Johnson. I love this lady. She's an amazing woman that does a lot of amazing stuff in the community of Watson throughout. So I'm going to be sharing her video, but I just want to give her credit. I love this lady. Love you, Miss Carolyn. Listen to this amazing sister. This is another sister I got a lot of love and respect for.
How you doing? How you been?
Hold on 1 minute. This is my uncle. Let me fuck with him real quick. Hold on. Hello, David Dubec's law firm. Hello, this is the law firm of David Dubec's. Hello, is this Tony Jones? Cuz must have had one of my people to call me because day before yesterday, I pranked Cuz. You feel what I'm saying? I'll get you out that prank video, but let's get back into the shit that really matters. That looking like David Moss from Camp Ubuntu. Here we go.
How you doing?
Jackie, why are you here at this press conference today?
I'm just here to see what's going on in the community, to hear the true story from the community about how this budget impacts their day-to-day boots on the ground, so we can come together and see what additional steps that we can do to move forward to make sure that they're supported. We want to make sure that we have effective programming and just a fellowship with the community, honestly.
Okay, well said. God bless you.
God bless you, sir. Thank you. Effective programming and impacts their day-to-day.
You here at this press conference today?
Hey, I just want to hip you out to the lingo. When they start talking about programming, they're basically talking about the money. You can't get the paper without the programming. So when they talk about programming, they're talking about the paper. The programming gets you the paper. I don't know if y'all understand what she's saying. I'm gonna run it back, but I want you to tell me what you hear. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And this isn't a shot at this sister. This is an amazing sister that I have worked with closely when I was in the community of Watts in the city of Los Angeles. Let's get into it, cuz.
I'm just here to see what's going on in the community, to hear the true story from the community about how this budget impacts their day-to-day.
The Los Angeles city budget is at a deficit. So now they're finding programs to cut. Amongst the first programs to cut is intervention and prevention. That's amongst the first ones. They already saying, clip, we got to get rid of it. They got to go. So now they want to say that it's ineffective, but for the last 15 to whatever amount of years, it wasn't ineffective then. Y'all allowed it to continue because y'all benefit from it. Y'all benefited from it because certain intervention and prevention workers don't mind doing this. But let's get back into the content. I got something to say after this, cuz I hope y'all following me, cuz.
Boots on the ground. So we can come.
Boots on the ground is the individuals that's in the trenches. Boots on the ground, programming, license to operate, and a few more terms is terms utilized by individuals in that respective field. Let's get back into it.
Come together and see what additional steps.
Grassroots as well.
To make sure that they're supported. We want to make sure.
So what they're trying to do is garner support for the intervention workers and community activists and advocates in the community. They're trying to garner support to make sure their programs aren't defunded, cut, or just totally just kicked out of existence. So that's what they're doing. I believe that this is the reason and the purpose for this meeting. It is job security, budget security. Well, not necessarily budget, but it is budget, but not necessarily budget.
That we have effective programming and just a fellowship with the community, honestly.
Okay, well said. God bless you.
God bless you, sir. Thank you.
I'll be tuning out. I'm here today at the press conference for the NAACP of Watts. We out here in the community. So we're tuning out.
Thank you, Miss Johnson, for that video update. I appreciate that, and I love you dearly. Y'all see what's going on, cuz? Y'all don't see what's going on? Like, now they're going to incentivize the young blockers to get out there and do some blocker. Crime is rising in LA. We need more money. We can't cut intervention and prevention and individuals that's boots on the ground. We just can't. They about to fan the fire, fan flames of the fire. And then they gonna double back and tell on you. So you YNs, let's not anticipate gang violence and crime this summer, this year. No, they're going to tell on you. A few of y'all done already been told on. They just ain't came and got you yet. That's on my motherfucking mama. That's on, man, listen, homie. A few of y'all out there that's thought or thinking you getting away with something. No, they know them motherfuckers done already told on you. They're just waiting. And typically they wait for situations like this before they come and make an arrest. They're waiting. Motherfuckers done told everything. How it started, what a motherfucker was eating before it started. Oh yeah, we was at this place, man, and a homie was eating a hamburger. And I remember like, damn, nigga, you fucking that hamburger up. And he was like, man, shut your ass up, nigga, I'm hungry. And this happened. And when I called, he was at the house, said he was smoking some weed that he got from. This is the reality of this shit, cuz. YNs, please make plans to have an amazing summer. Let's put our heads together, man, and let's have an amazing summer. That meeting that we just seen when I was a kid, when Tony Bogart was alive and certain other individuals was active in that line of work. You have a press conference, but you have 6-0s, Hoovers, Compton Crips, Compton Pyrus, PJs, Gray Streets, Bunny Hunters, everybody there. Not as intervention or prevention workers, but fathers who were tired of this shit and trying to find solutions to it. But what they allowed was the government to come in and show them how to start LLCs, 501c3, nonprofit exempt status, corporations, businesses, and whatnot. Then he allowed the government to come and say, listen, this is what I got for you. I see you doing the work, grassroots, boots on the ground, and I want to give you this amount of money. But this is the expectations. This is what I expect from you. As long as I'm giving you my money, I should have a say-so in the affairs of your organization. And that's how we're going to do that. You can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, and I need that. They watered down and diluted the movement. That's why every year, as it progressed, it got weaker and weaker and weaker, and the streets began to get a little bit more. I want to carefully pick my words, because we all know that in the 80s and the 90s, that baka was at an all-time high in Los Angeles. Coming out of the 70s, the 80s, to the mid-90s and all that, you feel what I'm saying? We know that it was wild. These kids aren't committing as many violent acts with that blocka, but they're still doing it. But the recruitment rate into gangs is at an all-time high for blacks and Hispanic. It's no programs. It's no outlets. What they gonna do? All they see in the hood is what they see in the hood. Why aren't we building relationships with different organizations, entities in different states? So next week, we're going to fly out to Queens, New York, and we're going to get with some of their youth programs and allow these young brothers to start creating relationships. We're not peddling drugs. We're not trying to create a pipeline. What we're trying to do is strengthen relationships between brothers. LA ain't working for you. Remember that relationship you made in New York? Well, he just hit 18, 19, 20, and he has this job, and he can show you how to navigate through the job market out there. You don't got to be in LA. My change came from me getting out of LA, me getting out of Watts, seeing different things, and being acquainted with different individuals and whatnot. And I wanted that shit for myself. Me, state to state, yeah, I get up and go. I can help the people and I can get paid. Oh yeah, man, sign me up when you need me there. Unfortunately, I had to take a break because DCFS, they did what they did to me and my family and all this type of shit. But Dummy Dodger says that's why Gryd is no good for the community, cuz. I hear you. And I respect what you're saying on page. I respect what you're saying. And I want to pose a question for you and everybody else. Do you think with the right representation from the streets of brothers who have a vision and brothers that have a plan, that Gryd can be reformed to be something that's advantageous to the people? Do you think Gryd can be reformed? Do you think we can take Gryd from being something that's negative, perceived as being negative in the community, to being reformed to something that actually worked for the community members? He said, no, that's heavy. And I appreciate your honest opinion on the Renanels. Dream Marie say it's just time to heal the hood, our communities, and each other. It's time. It's the only way we will win in this matrix. I totally agree with you. Massage therapy, aromatherapy, aquatic therapy, audio therapy. These is all things that I try my best to incorporate in my life. We should have a budget for that. I was under the tutelage of this amazing brother by the name of Keela Sherrills. This dude had been to the White House. He'd been all over the world talking about his experience in Watts and being one of the representatives there for the assembling of the 1992 Peace Treaty. He introduced me to massage therapy, aquatic therapy, audio therapy, aromatherapy. And all these different things touches different parts of the brain in the body to release tension, depression, anxiety. Why don't we have a budget for this? Why isn't this that something that we're commonly practicing? That's a form of the healing. Being able to come and have a conversation, that's therapy. That's a part of the healing. The foods that we ingest, that's a part of the healing. The understanding and empathy that we give to one another, that's a part of the healing. See, you got individuals like myself that have a vision, that has the insight, the relationship, and the experience to really create a change in our community, but I get blackballed, I get ostracized. You know why? I'll show you why. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all why. I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you why a lot of these intervention and preventionists, they hate to see me coming. And they equate my presence to Jesus going into the temple, kicking over the motherfucking tables. What the fuck is y'all doing? What a motherfucking accountability. Why you doing this? Why you defrauding the people? Why you? No, fuck that. I'm gonna show y'all why, cause I think some of y'all just be thinking you play a pound to be talking. No, homie, this shit is this is real. Let's see, hold on, let me find it. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Let me see. Oh, let's go out. I'm gonna go out and come back in. Boom, and it's right here. One of the first ones on my mama. Hold on, let me share this with y'all. So y'all can get a better understanding why they were planning to get me out the way. Here it is, all these professionals, representatives from various parts of the government, local, federal, all this, with these wicked ass community activists, defrauding, misleading, misguiding, and misrepresenting the community. And here I am, Bobby A.A. Jones, coming in looking like a motherfucker that just got straight up off the motherfucking block. In some situations, I was straight up off the block, from being in those alleys, feeding those homeless populations, going to my house cooking for the whole homeless encampment, Mexicans and black. Man, no. What y'all tripping? I'm about to go get y'all some water. I'm about to go home and make y'all some burritos. I'm about to go home and make y'all some chili beans, make y'all some chicken. I'm about to make y'all something. Y'all gotta eat, man. Y'all ain't back here eating. Y'all doing this and doing that and wondering why y'all ass falling out in this hot ass sun. I have to be proactive. So I'll be coming from either making them lunch or making them breakfast straight into these meetings. 100. But let's get into the content. I'm gonna show you. I've been doing this shit. Nope, that ain't the one. Just the one right here. Right here. Where is that? This, there you go, crib. Perry, you said that you was gonna talk to Captain Cotto, and y'all was gonna resolve that, but it's still a continuing thing. Like last night, they came and I recorded it. They jumped out on us, started running in our pockets. No, is you on parole or probation? None of that. There was a lot of people that wasn't on paperwork that they came and just started running in their pockets. You feel me? And then me just sitting here, I feel like, man, no disrespect. A lot of people probably feel offended by what I'm about to say, but y'all do a lot of lying in these meetings. Y'all need to stop deceiving these people and let them know what's really going on in these communities. Like, you got people in the communities from niggas since Imperial Courts and Jordans. We fighting for peace. Why y'all don't get behind us and give us some assistance and fighting for peace? But when y'all can't benefit from it, when y'all can't get no money from it, when y'all can't get no media coverage from it, y'all don't want to mess with it. And that's messed up. Like, I done had a situation to where Jordan members that came to our project and we talking about peace, one of the community activists in my project tried to bomb on me, tried to punch me. But if we all fighting for peace, why we just can't all bring it together? Then a lot of Perry, you said that you was gonna talk to Captain Cotto and y'all was gonna resolve that. That's the truth. Hold on, this is a message to the youth. The homies, these niggas is out there lying to y'all, man. These niggas ain't the niggas that they proclaim to be, man. Stop following these niggas, man. These niggas gonna lead y'all young niggas into destruction. I'm telling you, man. Fuck all that shit, man. Stay in school, do what's right. But if you gonna live this life, man, make sure you mold yourself after real niggas, homie. Straight up. These niggas ain't gangsters. These niggas ain't killers. These niggas ain't who they say they is, man. The nigga done caught these niggas solo, man, and pressed these niggas, and these bitch ass niggas and went out. All that gangster tough talk shit niggas be doing in their crowd around their family and all that. Them niggas ain't about that, man. These niggas ain't got, man, stop following these niggas, man. I'm a real life project baby, man. When the big homies used to want to put the trash cans in the streets and shoot out the lights and all that, man. That's how long I've been around this motherfucker, man. I'm thoroughbred, man. I'm raised and trained by the best, man. Pay attention to what I'm telling you, man. That's a message from Bobby, eh? Hold on. In case y'all ain't believe me on PJ Crip, look, watch this. In case y'all ain't believe me about my involvement in the community and how effective I was in assisting the homeless, mitigating situations that can go back into a full-fledged gang wars, creating conflict resolution so that we don't create new beefs and all this type of shit. Hold on, watch this. Me and the big bro looked out. What, Anthony? Yeah, I can't do no more funerals. I ran. You got some shoes over here too. Over here.
Ronnie Knox. That's what it say.
Oh, hallelujah, my sister. You know what I mean? It's all love. Anything else that come my way, I'm gonna bring it to y'all. But y'all probably need to throw away all this damn gum. Nah, real shit, man. They give them some gum that's like 9 months expired. That's my activism. That's my contribution to the community. Not just the gangs, not just the youth, but the community as a whole. Because it's a saying, and this is what that saying says. You cannot take a kid out of a toxic community and put them back into that toxic community without healing the community, because the kid becomes, you know what I mean? It becomes toxic again. So we have to create a way that's a multifaceted plan, that's a multi-layered and tiered plan to give assistance to the parents as well as the kid, to give assistance to the homeless as well as the gangsters. That's what I was doing. I was too effective. It's like, oh no, we gotta, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna show you one more thing, man. Because, you know, people be thinking I just be on here and I just be talking because I got lips, but that ain't my get down, baby.
Who is that?
No.
Who you looking for?
Yeah.
Who you with?
By me? That was old battle going by.
What battle?
That's crazy.
Oh, Mike, down there. Wayne's brother.
Yeah, Barry White Jr.
Yeah. Who you looking for, Nick?
Yeah, homie.
Oh, okay. Who you looking for, Nick?
There you go,
Getting the butter. inside the pot of mixture until it starts to get clumpy before I put them in. It's gonna look like this batch for my peoples. Yo, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The food ready. They think I just be lying, cuz. They think I just talk because I got lips. That shit hot, big homie.
Who is that?
On PJ.
Who you looking for?
When I come on this motherfucker, man, and I tell you I am who I am, I am who I am. I don't come on here and fabricate or, you know what I mean, overinflate who I am. And I'm like, no, cuz I'm really about the people. You got an individual that has the vision, that has the skill set, that has the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, the rapport with the streets, the reputation, and the relationship to change this shit. I'm glad I just got that phone call because we got to do something, cuz. So this is a call to action, cuz. If this go through, I'm gonna need to depend on y'all, man, to support me in creating peace in our streets and our communities, the changing the dynamics. This social media shit is cool, but if this deal is sealed, I'm coming to make some change, homie, and that just is what it is. But without further ado, man, y'all still be blessed. Hopefully something I said resonates with somebody out there, and my message is still the same. And also, we got to hold DCFS CPS accountable for the atrocities, the trauma, and the hardships and challenges that they are creating in the lives of Hispanic people and blacks. We got to challenge the system all the way, homie. We can't let one fucked up system exist and then we challenge and try to destroy another one, because all this shit is entwined, cuz. They miseducate the babies, they misrepresent the babies, they misguide the babies, and the babies in turn becomes the next streetwalkers. Because you got to have entertainment. Everybody's not desirable. Everybody don't have the ability to communicate effectively like I can, right? Everybody isn't as handsome as me. I'm just fucking around now, right? But everybody really don't have the ability to just go out there and grab them a female to do some amazing things to. So some of them have to depend upon streetwalkers. It's a form of entertainment. In Rome, they said, give them bread and give them circus. Streetwalkers is a part of the circus. They know that a lot of people who are in their low vibration, they seek to get their sexual desires satisfied. So you got to have streetwalkers in their economy, in their system. And where's most of these streetwalkers coming from? DCFS CPS. You got to have cheap labor for slave wages. Where you get the cheap labor workers from? Because the Mexicans are saying, nah, fuck that. I'm not going to continue to work in this hot ass field with all these motherfucking bugs, lizards, and insects for no motherfucking $1.50 an hour. Hell no. What's our minimum wage? 20. Oh, yeah, fuck that. You got to give me this. But you got the individuals working for slave wages inside the prisons. So that's an economy, or that's an industry all on its own. Let's keep funneling. The pipeline from public school to prison, a pipeline from DCFS to prison, a pipeline from DCFS CPS to the streets of these urban communities, these sex workers. I want to say this before I get up off this thing. Everybody that's criticizing and talking about Diddy, shut the fuck up. Stop allowing these individuals to take somebody from our community that they taught and expose their freakish desires. Well, Diddy be having freak offs, and Diddy had Cassie to do this and do that, and Diddy a homosexual. Shit, some of y'all is closeted homosexual. So who the fuck are you to judge Diddy? Louis Farrakhan says that when a brother fall, don't laugh. Learn from this. Because where you think he learned all that freak off parties and white parties, and where you think he learned that shit from? Because that shit goes all the way back to Rome. That shit goes all the way back to Greece, to where they used to come together and have these orgies. And then on a certain day, they excluded the females, and they have these orgies / freak offs, where it'd be all males, and they're just doing what they doing to each other. So this shit ain't nothing new. It's nothing new under the sun. It just so happened that Diddy started trying to do things that they feel like was unbefitting of a nigga, so they had to expose him. Let's bring him. Let's buck break him. Let's put him in front of all these people and show them how vulnerable he is when it comes to us. That's what they doing. This is a common day. This is a common day publicized buck breaking, not but buck breaking. But a lot of y'all don't see it as such. So we come on here, we talk about Diddy, but we don't talk about the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. They just got him on an indictment. They just took him to jail, but it ain't meet the news like this Diddy situation. And he was actually participating in human/sex trafficking. Diddy wasn't. So if you got him on sex trafficking, why the fuck do you still got him? You cannot punish this dude because he has certain type of perverted ways that he's into. That's his prerogative. If Diddy want to order 6 million bottles of baby oil and pour them motherfuckers all around the house, in the yard, in the swimming pool, and drink Ciroc and suck, that's that man prerogative. Let him do what he do. But this guy from Abercrombie and Fitch, this dude was violating state law as well as federal law, flying people from around the world for sexual exploitations. But that's my time, man. I'm about to get up off this thing. Y'all stay up and be blessed. Yeah, he sued that alcohol company. Yeah. And then he was trying to be in a position to own a reputable, well-respected, well-known alcohol brand. No black person outright owns an alcohol brand that's damn near as successful as Hennessy, Moet, Remy, all that. No black dude exclusively owns a business, an alcoholic beverage business that's as successful as their white competition or counterparts, whatever the fuck the word is. Y'all forgive me. Harvey Weinstein on trial right now, but you don't hear about Harvey Weinstein. They say the European CEO is unfit to go to trial, saying he wow, bro. This is some good information, man. I appreciate this, Frank Nitty. I did not know this. That's crazy as a motherfucker. They always find a loophole for one another. But Diddy, they're going to try to hang him by the nutsacks. And black people, it's a fucked up situation. They're going to sit back and they're going to rejoice. The public buck breaking, the public humiliation of another brother. They're going, fuck Diddy. Diddy parties. Diddy this, Diddy that. That's not cool. If Diddy is a notorious bisexual, that's that man prerogative of whether or not he doing this or whether he doing this or doing that. That ain't got shit to do with us. Because at the end of the day, unlike Young Thug, who y'all free Thug, man, fuck Young Thug. Because when he had the opportunity to speak for the people, he degraded the people. He denounced, renounced, and disassociated himself from the people. Fuck Young Thug. But Diddy said, man, y'all gonna keep on doing this until we get to a point and we start doing this back. Diddy talked about inclusion in these Fortune 500 mega businesses and all this and all that. Diddy spoke up for the people. Diddy was now taking on a stance of being semi-militant, semi-conscious. Who gives a fuck if he like to suck a pole after he eat a hole? That's that dude prerogative. Diddy was moving towards helping the people. Oh, how quick do you forget? Y'all be killing me, cuz. Hey, but I'm about to get up off this thing, man. Y'all stay up. Be blessed. God bless y'all. Pray a hedge of protection over all y'all. To the YNs, let's have an amazing summer, man. Let's get some money. Let's fuck some bitches. Let's go jet skiing. Let's do paintball shooting. Man, let's play basketball games, football games. Man, let's get to know each other. This is my message to the YNs. Let's get to know each other wholeheartedly. Let's have some meaningful dialogue at least once a month about how we can change the dynamics of our communities. Let's start creating youth leadership programs in our community. All we got to do is familiarize ourselves with one another, because when we do it in prison, when we become familiar, Wooty Woo from Gray Street and Wooty Woo from Carver, Mona Park and all that, we be cool. We be cool. Until you find out a nigga may have hit your bitch, then niggas be feeling some type of way. Me, I don't give a fuck, but some niggas do. So let's not talk about, hey, yeah, you know, old girl name. Let's not do that. Because some niggas, they act cool, but in the core, they be like, yeah, nah, let's stop beefing over females. And we need our women to start holding themselves to a higher regard. Start being stingy with that good stuff. Back in the days, right, when a woman was known for being a hoe, she was kind of like ostracized by the females that had grace, that had self-respect, that lived a certain type of way. The hoes was ostracized. The hoes hung with and did hoe activities with the hoes. Now you got females that saying that they're honorable women mixed in with the hoes. So we don't know who's the hoe and who's the valuable woman. Hoes hung with hoes and did hoe shit. And that's still cool. But we need some of our women to get back to being women of honor, women of discipline, self-respect, self-esteem. And we're going to set y'all aside and set y'all apart from the hoes. Because we need some wives. We need some righteous women to produce righteous black babies. Stop intermingling with these hoes, because your value is so valuable, but you don't even understand that the closest thing to God on this earth is you. But you want to relegate yourself to the status of a hoe because it's popular and it's commercial. No, fuck that. We need some righteous ass women to be these wives. These hoes, yeah, most of us, we gonna fuck up on these hoes. You know what I mean? That's just what we do. We fuck hoes. But I ain't trying to marry this hoe. I ain't trying to wife this hoe. I ain't trying to take this hoe home to meet my family and shit. No, she's a hoe. We gotta respect the hoes for being hoes too. Just because she's a hoe, that don't mean you put your hands on her, you talk crazy to her. She's just living in what she feels is her truth. Let that hoe live in her truth. And when you come and chill with me, we're still gonna drink some good stuff, some quality stuff, none of the cheap shit, the moderately priced shit. Pop a bottle of champagne, get a decent room. You can still get a massage. You can still get somewhat of the royal treatment. But baby, I'm not making no commitment to you. You are a hoe. And going back to even the biblical days, was there's hoes in the Bible? Hell yeah, there was some hoes in the Bible. Why do you think King Solomon and King David had X amount of wives? These is top quality. Don't nobody look at them. Don't nobody touch them. Don't even associate. Don't even socialize with my wife. But the concubines and the mistresses, these hoes is for everybody. This is where we get our quick rocks off. These is the females that's gonna be dangling from the chandeliers and putting that monkey on a nigga. I already know about to get some blowback for that, cuz old Crip. Hey, but listen, man. Y'all still be blessed, man. It's your player, Panda Bobby WJ. God bless y'all. I pray a hedge of protection over all of us, cuz on the Renting Hills. Too black, too strong. All power to all people that's trying to make realistic changes in this matrix. That's trying to make realistic changes in our community. All power to all people. And to my people's too black, too strong. We all we need. We all we got. Let's live in peace before we be forced to rest in peace. And I'm gone.